When I was a kid, I didn't care much for the environment. I thought that going green was super lame, and that if you were cool, you cared about two things: netball and Korean dramas. I never fully registered the fact that us humans were destroying our planet with our very selfish actions, and even when I thought about it, I'd always brush it off by telling myself, it's okay. Someone else will do something about it. It doesn't have to be you. Unfortunately, I carried this sort of nonchalant attitude with me for most of my life. Thankfully, things changed when I went to secondary school, where I met a bunch of passionate people who loved the environment and were unafraid to show it. They weren't pushy or judgy in any manner, but rather let their actions do the talking. As I observed my friends and the way they behaved, I started to feel curious. What was this green thing, and why were my friends so passionate about it? So I decided to do my research. I went to the library, I borrowed a couple of books, I went online, read up on articles, and the more I read, the more shocked, angry, and disappointed I felt. The more I read, the more I understood just why my friends were so passionate about the environment. The more I read, the more I realized just why going green wasn't so lame after all. However, despite my newfound knowledge, I never had the inclination to do anything beyond living a little more green myself. Because, if you know me, you know I'm not someone who likes to put herself out there or try and influence other people. So for the longest time, I was very content with just taking baby steps to make my lifestyle a little bit more green. But this all changed in March last year, where I chanced upon a video by two girls who ran Bye Bye Plastic Bag. It was a TED Talk, and in it, they were sharing about a campaign they started to get their island of Bali to say no to plastic bags. What struck me the most about the video was how young they were when they started. They were just 10 and 12 years old. So there I was, a 17-year-old girl sitting in a chair, and I thought to myself, if these girls were brave, courageous, and bold enough to do something so different and drastic at such a young age, why couldn't I? So I decided there and then that I too wanted to campaign for the environment. However, it took me a while to decide what it was exactly that I wanted to do. After all, the environment is such a huge topic, and there is an endless list of things one can do. So I decided to talk to friends, I walked around my neighborhood, and then it hit me. Plastic straws. Plastic straws are one of the most widespread and commonly used disposable plastics. Yet if you think about it, most of us don't even need plastic straws because we're perfectly capable of sipping directly from the cup. Every single day, 2.2 million plastic straws are used in Singapore. That's 2.2 million pieces of plastic used for mere minutes before being thrown in the trash, never to be seen again. And mind you, these are items that have the capacity to outlive every single one of us here in the auditorium today if they weren't incinerated. Therefore, I felt that campaigning against plastic straws was the perfect project for a broke student like myself with little time and experience to embark on. So that's the story of how I started Straw-Free Singapore, a campaign to get the island of Singapore to go straw-free. The first thing I did after starting my campaign was create this petition to Changi Airport. Why Changi? That's because Changi Airport has the highest footfall by far of any place in Singapore. Every single year, more than 60 million people pass through its doors. If you know me, you know it's go big or go home. So I decided to go straight to the top and campaign to Changi Airport. In the first week I sent my petition out, I got about 100 signatures. That, to me, was one of the most thrilling parts of my campaign because I never expected so many people to be on the same page as myself. Starting this campaign and this petition was one of the most terrifying things I ever had to do because it's like putting yourself out there and telling people that this is what you believe in, and that was absolutely scary. So having that number of people support me was very encouraging. So as the petition slowly grew in numbers, I embarked on the core part of my project, getting F&Bs to say no to plastic straws. I started by sending out 10 physical snail mail letters to the 10 largest F&Bs in Singapore, places like McDonald's and KFC. Unfortunately, out of the 10 letters I sent out, only one restaurant bothered replying, and that was Four Fingers. Unfortunately, their reply was to reject me, so that didn't go too well. So I realized that while physical letters were an effective way for me to convey how sincere I was, they weren't effective or efficient enough for me to get my message across to as large a number of people as I wanted them to. So I switched to email. But email wasn't that successful either, because I would send out like 20 emails and get no responses. So I decided to take a step back and do some reflection. After thinking for a while, I realized that what I was asking these restaurants and cafes to do was far too drastic. They were just not ready to do something so different so soon. So I decided to create an intermediate step, where I created these stickers which help the cafes tell these consumers about the straw-free movement. So these stickers, they actually tell consumers about the problem with plastic straws, as well as remind them that going straw-free was always an option. When I introduced these stickers to my emails, I started getting a bit more success. However, take the word success with a pinch of salt, because I went from getting 0 replies to maybe 1 for every 10. So, as you can imagine, putting in so much time and effort into something and seeing little to no success can be quite discouraging. I felt very disheartened, and there were times, I must admit, where I felt like, I wanted to give up. But I didn't, and that was because of 2 reasons. One, I felt that what I was doing had meaning, that it was purposeful, and that I could make a difference. Number 2, I had just invested far too much time and energy into this for it to fail just because I gave up. If it were to ever fail, I wanted it to be because of some external factors. Never could it fail because I decided to call it quits. So I kept going, I kept sending those emails, and soon enough, things started looking up. But that was in no small part due to this very kind article written about me that was published in the Straits Times. After the article went out, I started getting a lot more success, and as of today, I've sent out more than 80 stickers to different cafes, restaurants, schools, and workplaces in Singapore. My favorite part of this whole campaign has been the explosion in the number of straw-free school-based accounts that has happened. In the beginning, it was just one account, mine. But after the campaign went out, the article came out, things started turning up, and a lot more accounts started popping up. So if you notice, there's actually secondary schools, JCs, polys, and even universities. And these are all student-led accounts, completely unaffiliated with me. They are students, teenagers like myself, who have decided to take a step out and campaign for the environment. Honestly, nothing makes me happier than knowing that my fellow teenagers are becoming change makers in their communities and are making a difference where they are. Other cool things that have happened include the success of my primary school zero waste advocacy project called Wipe Out Waste. So Wipe Out Waste is basically this program where I go to primary schools and share about the zero waste movement through talks and an exhibition. Last year, I spoke to more than 7,000 students, and this year, I'm continuing to do so. In fact, just this morning, I was at a primary school talking about the zero waste movement, so it's something that I plan to do throughout this year. So remember the petition I mentioned earlier, the one with just 100 signatures in the first week? As of today, there's actually more than 60,000 signatures. So I'm aware that it says, oh, thank you so much. So I'm aware that it says 50-something thousand, but actually as of today, it's 60,000. So I'm very, very excited, and I can't believe that this number of people actually believe in what I believe in. So because of this petition, and probably because I'm this relentless email spammer to the Changi Airport inbox, I was actually lucky enough to meet the management of Changi Airport last July, where they shared with me the different initiatives they had in the pipeline, and that they were coming on board the Straw-Free Singapore movement as well. So as of today, there are more than 23 straw-light establishments in Changi Airport, and all F&B outlets have this little dangling thing. It says, go straw-free. So I'm very, very proud of this because I never expected a large company like Changi Airport to actually listen to the idea of this young teenager like myself. So other cool things include, going on radio, being featured by the media, as well as speaking at other youth events. However, while, sharing of all this success can be quite, nice and makes you all feel all warm and fuzzy, I must remind you that my journey has been full of downs as well. I've been ignored more times than I can count. I've been rejected by even my own primary school, and I've been subjected to some trolls and hate messages online as well. So honestly, the main thing I learned from being this one-woman show behind Straw-Free Singapore is resilience. Perhaps calling myself a one-woman show isn't that accurate, because I would never have been able to get as far as I have without my family. My family have been with me every step of the way. They've been with me since the beginning, and they all do different things for the campaign. So like my dad, he pays for all the stickers I give out, all the resources I use, because I give my stickers out completely for free. So thanks, Dad, he's here today. Okay. So my mom, she actually drives me to different places I give talks at, and she holds the fort down when I can't be there. And my two brothers, they do basically everything. So if I need someone to voice over my videos, I get my brothers to do so. If I need someone to help me pack my straws, I get my brothers. And if I need helpers at the different booths that I hold, my brothers are there as well. So I'm extremely grateful for the help and support my family have given me. And I'm extremely aware that I would never have been able to do what I'm doing without their support. They're truly the MVPs of Straw-Free Singapore. So, I hope I've shown you today that starting your own campaign is not impossible. It's actually pretty achievable, and you don't need any special talents to do so. I'm not someone who's particularly talented at anything. I'm not too great at PowerPoint or, Photoshop, and public speaking isn't something that comes naturally to me. However, I think that starting our own campaign is actually very, very achievable. All you really need to do is have the courage to take the first step. And I assure you that once you take that leap of faith and put in the hard work that's necessary, success will naturally come your way. Starting Straw-Free Singapore has been a crazy leap out of my comfort zone. And, I've been very, very thankful for all the opportunities I've had. Just a year ago, I would have never imagined myself doing what I'm doing. And maybe just months ago, I would never have imagined myself speaking in front of you guys today. I'm extremely thankful and humbled for all the opportunities I've received, and I can't wait to see where 2019 takes me. Thank you very much.